would you please be upstanding for the arrival of Her Excellency Professor the Honourable Margaret Gardner, Governor of Victoria, and Ms Ingrid Stitt, Minister for Multicultural Affairs.
Please be seated. Ingrid Stitt, Minister for Multicultural Affairs and representing the Premier. John Pasuto, Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Vivienne Nguyen, Chairperson, Victorian Multicultural Commission. Commissioners of the Victorian Public Service, nominators, sponsors and panel judges of the Multicultural Awards for Excellence, award recipients and distinguished guests. Well, there's a bit of sun out there, so it's a lovely, lovely early evening to be here. Let me also begin by acknowledging that we meet here on the unceded lands of the people of the Wurundjeri and the Boonwurrung peoples of the Eastern Kulin Nations, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and recognise any other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who are here with us today. It's a very great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2023 Multicultural Awards for Excellence. And I know these awards have now been going for well beyond 2 decades, but tonight's awards recognise the important work that's being done by Victorians and as individuals and in groups, in organisations to support multiculturalism in our state. The rich diversity that has come to define Victoria and its way of life isn't new. It's actually true that the first peoples were a series of communities or nations, if you like, who did not share language and who operated across the lands that are known as Victoria, each with their own traditions, cultures and languages. And it is certainly true, since Victoria became a state in the 1850s, that it has been the site of considerable immigration, because Victoria began on a burst, a very significant burst of people coming from around the world to be here. And collaboration and communication between communities that don't share the same traditions and cultures and languages has been there before colonisation and indeed post-colonisation and the creation of the state that we now call Victoria. And we might hope that that approach to embracing people coming together with different traditions and understandings is really important to the quality of the life that we have and that we hope for the future. Because the wellspring of democracy that grew in Victoria relies on us being a community that can span across difference, that can see people in all the richness that they bring to a life and draw from it. So, contemporary Victoria and its approach to multiculturalism, I think, has been very significant, not just for this state, but for this nation. Across many years, international conflicts, global events, the appeal of a better life have brought people from around the world to settle in this state. And they've brought all that they had with them, and Victoria is stronger thanks to that. But to remain strong, it requires the support of individuals and communities. We cannot take it for granted. Tonight's nominees represent the work being done across a very wide range of sectors in our economy to improve the way we learn and understand, and in which we build the cohesion that makes for a community despite diversity. You can always make communities if you insist they all are the same. It's making communities where that isn't the case. That is the challenge and the important goal. The categories of the awards tonight offer insight into the many ways an individual or an organisation can foster multiculturalism and diversity in this state. And I know we've just got such a rich set of achievements here. Some have connected through the things that speak to our humanity: music, dance, the visual arts, the traditions and expertise that comes through how we see and hear and understand. Others work through organisations that bring together people doing things, whether that's engaging in sports or in fact the very complicated work of essential social services and how they're provided to communities. Regardless of the environment which you have come from, each of you have contributed towards making Victoria a more welcoming place for all Victorians. And when it's more welcoming, it's a better place. I'm conscious these awards would not be possible without the work of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. Established in 1983, the Commission is this year celebrating its 40th anniversary. And quite a lot has been achieved in that time. This year alone, the Commission has done important work promoting, celebrating and advocating for cultural diversity in Victoria. Commissioners have attended more than 500 community events and showcased a whole series of people who are speaking about and for their communities. Commission has helped more than 450 participants enter the Multicultural Communities Leadership in Action program. And I will say that's a tautology because it's a bit hard to have leadership not in action, even though we sometimes think we observe it. It's a leadership in action that you're looking for always. The Commission's advocated for culturally and linguistically diverse Victorians through 5 submissions to state and federal governments, and it is a great pleasure to see an increase in the impact and reach of the Commission's work, just as it's encouraging to see that these awards develop. They've developed over time. This is the second year the Victorian Multicultural Honour Roll will take place, which has replaced the previous award, which was the Meritorious Service to the Community Award. The roll recognises individuals who've made exceptional and lasting contributions to multiculturalism in Victoria, and it's focusing on local champions for diversity. Reflecting on the importance of diversity in Australia, former Prime Minister, now no longer with us, Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser, once said, "Australia did not and does not have an alternative to multiculturalism." Indeed, when we consider the insight, collaboration and the sheer energy and joy it brings to our community, there is no alternative. Thank you to the commissioners, the judges, the sponsors, all those whose work has made this evening possible, to VMC Chairperson Vivian Nguyen, who has recently been appointed for another 4 years, and to each of you who've been nominated this evening. Your work deserves to be celebrated and recognised, and I look forward not just to seeing what you do next, but to hearing of the impact it has in our communities. Can I now invite Minister Stitt to the lectern? Thank you.
Thank you, and can I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we're meeting this evening and pay my deep respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge any First Nations people and elders who may be here with us this evening. I'd also like to acknowledge Her Excellency Professor the Honourable Margaret Gardner, Governor of Victoria, Vivian Nguyen, the Chairperson of the Victorian Multicultural Commission, Bui Tay, the Deputy Chairperson of the Multicultural Commission, Mr John Pasuto, MP, the Leader of the Opposition, Shane Patton, the Chief Commissioner of Victoria Police, Rick Nugent, the Emergency Management Commissioner from Emergency Management Victoria, all of the Victorian Multicultural Commissioners who are here this evening, and of course the award recipients and distinguished guests. I'm also joining you on behalf of the Premier, the Honourable Jacinta Allen, who sends her very best wishes for tonight's ceremony. My sincere thanks to the Governor of Victoria, Her Excellency Professor the Honourable Margaret Gardner, for hosting us tonight for this celebration. And I'd also like to pass on my thanks to Viv Nguyen and the Victorian Multicultural Commission for organising this special event and inviting me to take part in these festivities. Tonight we come together to recognise and celebrate so many outstanding Victorian champions of multiculturalism. This is an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the work of these Victorians who advocate for multiculturalism and multi-faith communities and strive for better outcomes for recently arrived migrants and refugee communities. Your efforts to promote and foster cross-cultural understanding and community connections have an integral role in the strengthening of Victoria's multiculturalism, and your leadership, guidance and tenacity for change is an inspiration to the whole community. Multiculturalism here in Victoria is something that we are all incredibly proud of. Victorians come from more than 200 countries to call Victoria home. We speak over 260 different languages and follow 135 different faiths. And we're really proud of this as it speaks to the vibrant, inclusive and culturally diverse society that Victoria is. And Victoria's multicultural communities have made and continue to make a significant contribution to our social, economic and cultural vibrancy as a state. Building on the rich fabric of Victorian society through cultural exchanges in the arts, music and food, but of course it's so much more than that. Our multicultural communities right across the state display all of the values that we hold dear in Victoria, and I'm incredibly proud of the way in which each of those communities and individuals contribute to the social cohesion that makes Victoria such a special place. This year we've got 15 award categories on offer, ranging from the arts to education, justice and sport. All of the nominees and recipients of these awards have made significant and substantial contributions to support those with migrant, refugee and asylum seeker backgrounds to fully participate in all aspects of Victorian life. This event provides an opportunity to celebrate these outstanding advocates of multiculturalism, and we know that through these remarkable contributions we continue to make Victoria the welcoming place it is to live. Nominations for tonight's award have once again highlighted the significance of this event and the large volume of submissions reflecting the efforts of many heroes of cultural diversity right across the state. So I'd like to acknowledge and give a shout out to all of the award recipients. You should be incredibly proud of the work that you do in supporting our state's multicultural refugee and migrant communities. We're so pleased that you could all join us here tonight to be acknowledged for your outstanding work. Once again, thank you to the Governor of Victoria, Her Excellency Professor the Honourable Margaret Gardner, for hosting tonight's event, and for Viv and the entire team from the Victorian Multicultural Commission for bringing us all together for this important ceremony program. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the award recipients come up and be suitably acknowledged for their efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Tonight we gather to celebrate the 22nd Multicultural Awards for Excellence. The Multicultural Awards for Excellence formally recognise people and organisations who have fostered cross-cultural understanding and supported those with migrant, refugee and asylum seeker backgrounds to fully participate in all aspects of Victorian life. This evening we are celebrating over 50 recipients, All award winners and inductees will be invited to the stage. We will also be celebrating our highly commended awardees following the proceedings on stage with a formal photo in the drawing room. We will now begin the presentations for the 2023 Victorian Multicultural Awards for Excellence. Your Excellency, I invite you to the presentation area to present the first awards for this evening with Vivian Nguyen, Chairperson of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. The Victorian Multicultural Awards for Excellence in Community Innovation recognises short-term projects or programs completed in the last 18 months that use outside-the-box thinking to address a problem facing a culturally diverse community and that share knowledge about a culture with a wider audience. The winner of the Community Innovation Award is Wellsprings for Women, received by Aviva White, for being Please hold your applause. Wellsprings for Women, received by Aviva White, for being a beacon of support and empowerment for isolated women in Dandenong, Casey and Cardinia. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Health recognises health practitioners, researchers and organisations that address the needs of people with culturally diverse backgrounds and or provide outstanding healthcare, support or services to multicultural communities. The winner of the Health Award is the Program for Refugee Immunisation Monitoring and Education, received by Hala Al-Khoury, for their vital role in delivering culturally appropriate vaccinations to refugee communities. May I please ask that you hold your applause until directed. Thank you. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Media recognises outstanding reporting of issues of importance to culturally diverse communities and reporting that contributes to Victorians' improved cross-cultural understanding. The winner of the Media Award is Impact Magazine, received by Laurie Noel, for their deep connection with multicultural communities and their inspiring storytelling. Congratulations to the recipients of Community Innovation, Health and Media Awards. Thank you, Chairperson Nguyen. You may now return to your seat. I now invite Jennifer Huppert, Commissioner at the Victorian Multicultural Commission, to join the Governor to present the Education Awards. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Education recognises early childhood staff, services, schools, vocational education and training settings, and not-for-profit organisations that deliver outstanding learning and teaching programs that enhance the social inclusion, well-being, and education outcomes for children and students from culturally and linguistically diverse communities. The winner of the Early Childhood Education Award is City of Casey Best Start Cultural Communication Improvement Team, received by Bronwyn Saffron, for enhancing cross-cultural communication in early years services. The winner of the School Education Award is the River Nile School, received by Lisa Wilson, for their transformative work in educating young refugee and asylum seeker women. The winner of the Vocational Education and Training Award is the Together Against Racism Working Group at Victoria University, received by Heather Marsh, for their innovative anti-racism training. The winner of the Vocational Education and Training Pre-Accredited Community-Based Award is the River Nile Learning Centre, received by Rahel Davies, for empowering refugees and asylum seekers with skills and confidence. Congratulations to the recipients of the Education Awards. Thank you, Commissioner Huppert. I now invite Shane Patton, Chief Commissioner of Victoria Police, to join the Governor to present the Police Awards. These awards recognise outstanding contributions to multicultural harmony in the field of policing. The recipients of the Police Annual Multicultural Awards are Leading Senior Constable Heath Williams, for his outstanding outreach to young people from diverse backgrounds, particularly from South Sudan and other parts of Africa. Detective Senior Constable Tana Griffiths, for her invaluable experience in supporting female victims of violence and assault in Dandenong. Inspector Dean Clinton, for establishing the Hume Neighbourhood Policing Safety Committee and his active involvement in various multicultural and interfaith groups. The recipients of the Protective Service Officer Multicultural Awards are PSO Sergeant Pushp Sidhu, for her proactive engagement with the Hindu and Sikh communities and her contributions to various community programs. PSO Sergeant Simi Kaur, for her dedicated work in educating the Sikh community about important social issues and recruitment opportunities. The recipient of the Police Multicultural Media Award is the Diversity Recruitment Program Media Campaign, received by Mirna Bukic, Wes Hosking and Nikki Ladgrove. For its significant role in diversifying the annual intake of police officers and PSOs, reflecting the cultural diversity of Victoria. The recipient of the Police Community Exemplary Award is Brooke Harding for her innovative initiative of preparing and distributing iftar care packages, fostering community understanding and education. Congratulations to the recipients of the Police Awards. Thank you, Chief Commissioner Patton. I now invite Rick Nugent, Emergency Management Victoria Commissioner, to join the Governor to present the Emergency Services Awards. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Emergency Services recognises people, units, clubs or stations working or volunteering for Victoria's emergency services who promote and champion cultural diversity and address the specific needs of multicultural communities. The recipient of the Emergency Services Award is the Victorian State Emergency Service Greater Dandenong Unit, received by Sonna Vandersweep, for their commitment to cultural diversity and community engagement. Congratulations to the Victorian State Emergency Service Greater Dandenong Unit. Thank you, Commissioner Nugent. I now invite Minister Stitt to join the Governor to present the awards for arts, business, justice, local government, refugee advocacy, sport and youth leadership. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Arts recognises artists, performers and organisations that develop and implement arts programs or initiatives that improve intercultural learning or social cohesion through participation and performance. The winner of the Arts Award is Nandita Chakraborty for her inspiring work and advocacy for those with non-visible disabilities. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Business recognises businesses that provide outstanding service to Victorian multicultural communities and lead the way in building a culturally diverse and culturally safe workplace. The winner of the Business Award is Community Plus Services Limited, received by Tracy Gaudry for their impactful work across Melbourne, delivering vital programs to marginalised communities. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Justice recognises people and organisations that promote or improve access for multicultural communities to the justice system, support or advocate for multicultural communities to address systemic issues within the justice system, or promote cultural diversity and inclusion in the legal sector. The winner of the Justice Award is Northern Community Legal Centre and South East Monash Legal Service, received by Jenny Smith for their collaborative work in aiding family violence survivors. Congratulations to the recipient of the Justice Award. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Local Government recognises local government authorities for major initiatives that meet the needs of their culturally, linguistically and religiously diverse communities. The winner of the Local Government Award is Pina Ma for her leadership of the City of Greater Bendigo for becoming an accredited welcoming city and fostering inclusion. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Refugee Advocacy recognises people and organisations that support or advocate for the rights and needs of newly arrived refugees and people seeking asylum, improves access to settlement services and or employment pathways, and creates opportunities for participation, contribution and belonging. The winner of the Refugee Advocacy Award is Free to Feed, received by Shanaz Albo Khalifa for providing empowering employment opportunities for refugees and people seeking asylum through shared food experiences. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Sport recognises people and organisations that develop and implement sporting programs that aim to build social cohesion and harmony across communities. The winner of the Sport Award is City in the Community, received by Sunil Menon for using soccer to positively impact the well-being of young people and promote multiculturalism across communities. The Victorian Multicultural Award for Excellence in Youth Leadership recognises the outstanding contributions of a young person, group or organisation that provides leadership, empowerment and support to young Victorians from culturally diverse backgrounds. The winner of the Youth Leadership Award is Ria Werner for leading Embrace Collective Youth Initiative, championing multicultural youth voices in healthcare policy and securing significant policy support and government funding. Congratulations to the recipients of all these awards categories. Thank you, Minister Stitt. You may now return to your seat. I now invite Chairperson Nguyen back to the red carpet to join the Governor. These service awards acknowledges and thanks the work of 3 commissioners that have finished their terms at the Victorian Multicultural Commission in 2023. Abiola Akinbi. Abiola Akinbi leaves a permanent mark through her tireless advocacy. Her dedication to addressing the English language requirement impacting nurses' registration in Australia has highlighted the importance of inclusivity in the healthcare system. Additionally, Abiola's role as the Community Representative Commissioner has raised stronger ties between the Ethnic Communities Council of Victoria and the VMC. Lunifer Foley. During his time at the VMC, Lunifer Foley championed the cause of multicultural youth issues. His administration as the chair of the Multicultural Youth Network, reinstated in 2023, provided a platform for the voices of young people, especially those from regional areas. Lunifer's commitment to understanding the needs and aspirations of Victorian multicultural youth has paved the way for positive change. The next Commissioner, Shankar Kazinathan, unfortunately can't be here with us this evening, but we would still like to acknowledge his service tonight. Shankar Kazinathan chaired the Barwon Regional Advisory Council and previously the Loddon Mallee Regional Advisory Council. Shankar leaves behind a legacy of leadership and dedication. One of his remarkable accomplishments was co-facilitating 4 separate mental health first aid training sessions alongside Commissioner Dr. Judy Tang. Please join me in a round of applause to acknowledge the contribution of the Commissioners. Thank you, Chairperson Nguyen. I now invite Minister Stitt back to the red carpet to join the Governor to present the final awards for this evening. Selected by the Victorian Premier, the Honourable Jacinta Allen, the Premier's Award for Community Harmony recognises an individual or organisation that has made a significant contribution to increasing understanding, acceptance and cooperation between different faith and cultural groups. The recipient of the Premier's Award is Cultura Paco Festa 2023, received by Joy Lego. Paco Festa is the largest free celebration of cultural diversity in Australia, celebrating community spirit, interconnectedness, belonging and harmony. Congratulations to Paco Festa. Our final awards for this evening. This is the second year the Victorian Multicultural Honour Roll will take place and recognises the efforts of individuals who have made exceptional and lasting contributions to multiculturalism in Victoria. The 2023 inductees of the Victorian Multicultural Honour Roll are Naba Masad Al-Fayed, Giuseppe Canata. Rana Ebrahimi. Ruwangi Fernando. Farhat Firdus. Rabbi Yaakov Glasman. Kyriakos Gold. George Gregorio. Dr. Bekim Hassani. Eva Hussain. Sigfredo M. Jova. Gurinda Kaur. Dr. Raj Killan. Nawal Kishore Mujil. Manzoor Ahmad Mian. Eddie Joseph McAuliffe. Mohammed Hadi Omar. Asvin Poragnam. Nola Radiotis. Hadi Saab. Arfa Sarfaraz Khan. Helen Stamoulis. Kaya Starinskas. Deepak Vinayak. Gloria Yun. Congratulations to all inductees of the Victorian Multicultural Honour Roll. Thank you, Governor and Minister Stitt. That concludes official proceedings for this evening. On behalf of the Governor, I would like to invite you to stay and enjoy the hospitality of Government House. The state apartments to my right are now open for viewing. May I also please ask the highly commended recipients to shortly make their way to the State Drawing Room to your left for an official photograph. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.